Hello and welcome to the B60 Top 4 show. Today we've got myself, Manny and Mike joining the show. Um, I thought I'd start with the big game on the weekend, the Manchester Derby. Mike, what do you think of the game?
It was a bit dead, but I heard people falling asleep in that. I mean, the quality of the game, it just sums up the season, if I'm honest. I feel like, to be fair, we didn't play too bad, did it? I mean, City were awful. Foden's mom was getting slagged off. He didn't do nothing. He got hooked off after 55 minutes. Um, Mamouche, again, did do nothing. De Bruyne and last Manchester Derby do nothing. I was kind of disappointed with him. I mean, I know they're missing a Haaland and that. I mean, I know they've been dead this season, but expecting a bit more. I mean, the onus was on them, really, to be honest, rather than us. Do you know what I mean? I feel like Fernandez was the only standout player in the whole game. For United, again, defensively, we're all right. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have too much trouble defensively. Midfield, decent. Garnacho, again, inconsistent. Holland, not in there. We could have won it at the end, to be fair. So, but yeah, man, it was for top six games. It was dead. I can't lie, but we'll take the point. We got nothing going for us this season apart from Europa League. So yeah, that's what I'll say. Big up Fernandez for the season.
Yeah, what did you? I know you said it was a bit of a poor game, but like, what did you think of the result though? Were you happy with the draw? Because I know Roy Keane wasn't happy. He obviously is saying he's talking about the standard of United at the minute, he's saying it's not good enough. But I know City haven't quite been vintage City this season, but I'd still say from where you man are in the league to get a draw at City could have been worse, no?
100%. I feel like we beat City away and we drew against them at home. So 4 points. Obviously, you want to win every game as a United, but we have to be realistic. The United of today is not the United of old. So with the players we've got, obviously we had a few players injured. You know what I mean? Ahmed, obviously Mainu, Martinez. They're three key players in our first team that didn't play. So, um, like I said, we got nothing going for us. So even if we would have won, it would just been for the bragging rights of the City. But we already beat them away this season. So I'll take the draw. It keeps us unbeaten. Now we're going to Europa League, maybe with a bit of confidence. We're still unbeaten. I feel like we're starting to play a little bit better. I feel like we know what we need in relation to position and players. Once we get him a striker, a left, another number 10, we know that we're going in the right. We just need a bit of quality. The formation and that is all there, but when you're not got the quality, there's only so much a manager can do. So obviously, Roy Keane and Gary Neville, they're gonna say it. You know what I mean? They they grew up with winning teams. That they're winning, league titles, Champions League. So obviously they're gonna say something because their standards are up here. You know what I'm saying? But the United of today, I, it's a draw, in it. It's nothing to it.
Yeah, yeah, and I think as well, like for City as well. I know they've lost Rodri, he's like a key player for this season, but I feel like they've really dropped off. And honestly, I was expecting them to build on last season to be even stronger. Because, like I said, I think last season they had Kevin De Bruyne out for half the season. Haaland was like nursing a foot injury. So I thought they have those players back, like fit and firing. They'd obviously, kick on and probably win another title, but it's not
To be
been.
fair to City, they've won four in a row. Do you know what I mean? There's only so much. There's only so much you can. How many titles you can win? This was always going to happen. Obviously, they got a bit complacent. This is a rebuild, really. I know a lot of their players are going to be leaving this summer, so I feel like this is Pep Guardiola's first, well, not first, but you know, first big rebuilding job that he's having to do. From Barca, Bayern, I don't think he's really had to do that. It's like he's always had the players there. Now we're going to see what he's made of. You know what I'm saying in relation to like the rebuild, and then yeah, next season can he retain a title or win the league again? So I feel like this is big.
Yeah, it'd be interesting because, like you said, most of his jobs, he builds a team, wins, and then leaves. So, um, in a weird kind of way, I kind of thought, I know he signed that new deal, but I thought he'd end up leaving. And then maybe look to maybe international management, something like that. But I'm surprised. I suppose he's clearly got a lot of hunger and ambition still
But
there.
like he doesn't want to leave on a losing kind of, you know what I mean, like not winning the league or not winning any trophy. I mean, still got FA Cup to be fair, but yeah, if they'll win a trophy and he just leaves, it kind of makes him look like, wow, that's he's not made of, the rebuilding type of manager like Ferguson and even maybe Mourinho. Do you know what I mean? So he probably wants maybe to win the league title and then bounce. I don't know, but
'Cause
I think that's my thought.
He clearly got that desire. Maybe it is something he wants to prove himself. Maybe he does feel like maybe something like a rebuild is something he wants to do. So I think he signed a 3-year deal, didn't he? So he'll be
Yeah,
and obviously it's a bit high profile with his like divorce from his wife as well because he signed that new deal. So
yeah, true. Forgot
he's
about that.
really got that
That's
commitment.
peak.
So yeah,
He's committed to football. He said football over his wife.
he's
Fair play.
he's part of that 120 mil net worth.
Yo, I can
But
imagine him just talking tactics to his wife, and his wife's like, "Yo, again,
but she'll be sick of it, like no time at home. So
she ain't getting nothing, no sex or nothing at yard, bro. It's just tactics and formations."
yeah.
Oh.
You had the one when you said a new 3-5-2 could that become some tactics. And
Yeah,
now
yeah, yeah.
I'm saying out to his wife, something like that.
Oh, she had to bounce, man. She had enough.
Yeah, and on that note, I'll bring it on to the Chelsea Bournemouth game money. Obviously a 0-0 draw, probably a bit of a disappointing result in terms of Chelsea going for that race for top four, top five, whatever you want to call it nowadays. What do you think of the game?
Yeah, I think it's a bit similar to the Manchester derby. To be fair, it's a bit boring. I think after the win we had midweek against Tottenham, like the Tottenham game it's a really good performance. Should have been about 2-3-0 to us. Um, Everyone had a really good performance, but I thought we'd kick on from that. Didn't really. Poor game. I think Brentford had the better chances. Obviously, going away to Brentford, it's always a difficult game. Um, yeah. Um, I think I need to mention a couple of players. One of them being Nkunku. Now, this guy, there's a couple of players in the Big Six, yeah, that make you want to get your boots back on because you think you can make it again. Because Christopher Nkunku, yeah, that guy, I don't know what he actually does on the football pitch. I don't even know what his best position is, if it's out wide or if it's up front or if it's just in behind the striker. Because every time I watch him, every time Maresca gives him a chance, he just seems to do nothing. And I'm confused because it's like, I think we turned down, what was it like? I think it was a 60, 70 million euro or pound offer from Bayern Munich in January. And I was thinking, okay, right, if Bayern Munich rate them this highly, you must be like, my eyes must be deceiving me. But as the season's gone on, I think my eyes actually telling me the truth. Like this guy, I don't know. I think he's an awful footballer. I
What
hope
happened
he.
to him though? Because I like Isaac. He was doing bits in it.
I think it. You know what? You know what I think? It might be Bundesliga tats because I'm
Mm,
as well. And this
Bombcho,
guy,
Bombcho.
a couple of men were talking about him being born of the best. Even you can even go as far as back as last season when he was playing in the UCL final. He was ripping it up for Dortmund again. Comes back to the Prem at Chelsea, and he just looks a shadow of himself. I just don't know what's going on. Um, but yeah, poor performance. Madueke, I know he's just come back from injury, but he didn't play too well either. Um, but yeah, I think like I don't really want to talk about the future and what I want for next season. I just want to talk about this game solely. I just think it was a poor performance. Now we're only scraping into the top four. I think we got to improve. We got to improve. But I want to leave it on a positive note by saying Caicedo. I can't lie. The way this guy's playing, I think he might be the best midfielder
Baller,
in the league.
baller.
Okay.
Like I don't know. I was watching him and I was thinking, this guy's. I'm not saying he is, but he's got a little bit of Kante in him. The way he can just win the ball back, take a little bit of the player, and he can also play with the ball as well. Keeps it simple. I just think he's a top player. Obviously, you'd expect that from £100 million signing, but yeah, I think he's a top player, and I think he's going to be one of our most important players especially if we want to get in this top four. But yeah, overall, that game was a poor game, and I think we need to improve badly.
What about Cole Palmer? How did he play?
Obama, he played okay. Obviously, got the assist midweek. I thought he'd kick on and like kind of carry on the form a bit of how he played in that game. But yeah, I don't think anyone really played that well, if I'm honest. He had a few half chances. I can remember him testing Flecken on one good chance. But apart from that, he didn't really do too much, but neither did kind of the front four, to be honest. So I think Caicedo was probably the only really standout performance for us in that game, if I'm honest. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think Caicedo's been a standout performer all season. I think
yeah, facts.
the
Yeah, I agree with that.
two candidates, I think, yeah, definitely worth being considered for like Premier League Team of the Year. Them two have been quality all season. It'll be interesting to see though. I think it's interesting because you've already signed two wingers that are coming in. I know I've mentioned him to you before, Manny, like William Esteval and then Giovanni Kenda. I know he's not coming in until 2026, but it's kind of like a telling sign. If you're still bringing in wingers with the amount you've got at the club, maybe they just don't feel like they're up to the level. Um, it's
Yeah, in around 2 years' time, there's going to be a couple people really fighting for the spot because there is a lot of competition for positions, especially in the winger spots. So yeah,
Mendy's out as well, isn't it? What's that guy? That Russian done, not Russian, Ukraine
Ukrainian
done.
Mudryk.
Yeah, that's it. So
Yeah,
what is he? What's happened with him? Is he being
he's,
charged or
he's suspended, isn't he? Because I think
suspended?
he's had an adverse finding. Um,
I think his career at Chelsea's done. I'll be real. Um,
yeah, I think to be honest, I think it was going to end eventually. I think it's just this probably just bring a premature end to it.
yeah,
He's quite hit the heights.
yeah. I
Yeah,
just,
dead.
He's not really a €100 million player, is he really?
just don't think he was ready. I can't lie.
Mm.
But yeah,
So I think Arsenal dodged a bullet with that one. I can't lie. But yeah. We'll move on.
No, Arteta's eye for talent looking spooky still.
Yeah, I'm glad we got that Berta and do a bit of a better job than him and Eddie. Seemed like Arteta doesn't really have too many people that challenge him at the club, so it'd be good to have someone who's not a
Well,
friend.
you man meant to be after what's his name? Williams, isn't it? Let's go Bilbao.
Yeah, he's another one. I don't think we have too many moments players in our team. I think he's probably one of them. Um, Somebody who can just create some out of nothing. I don't think we have that really. I think Saka maybe, but other than that, I don't really see there's anyone who just can create something, bit of X factor. I think he's obviously got that. I don't think he's a massive goal scorer necessarily, but he does get assists, so we'll see. I think I'd be very happy with him, but I think he'd be a good signing. I think Martinelli, as much as I like him and Trossard, I think they're just too inconsistent uh, with their end product.
Yeah,
They do put in good performances every now and again, but I mean, if you're going for the major trophies, I just don't think they're consistent. Um, but yeah, on to Arsenal. It's just same thing really. Created enough chances, just weren't clinical enough. Similar pattern to play to games before. I know we got the lead at half time, but again, started the game first half quite slowly. Just weren't moving the ball quick enough. I don't think Everton like put in a masterclass defensively or anything like that. I think we had chances in the second half. Martin Erdegaard, I think, probably had one of the best ones, and I honestly don't know how he's managed to do it. I think it was Tierney played with the overlap. Martinelli got some success down the left when they came on, and then they put a ball across. It just went across the 6 yard area, the near post. He's probably like 7 yards out. All he has to do is just sweep it in the other corner, across goal, and he like kicks the ball onto his right foot, and it goes wide of the near post. I honestly don't know. He's like double hit it. Don't know how he's managed that. I think he's another one as well where I think his level's dropped off this season. I'm not going to be too critical of him because he still does all of his facets for like the team. Like he leads the press, he's good defensively, he organises the team. But I just think his output's dropped off massively this season. I know he's had a season where he scored 15 goals in the Premier League, but he's not like that this season at all. I think he's only got like 2 goals and 4 assists. which I don't think is good enough for a player of his talent.
That's poor, man. 10
Yeah, yeah,
or
exactly.
number 10.
He's-
That's not good enough.
Yeah,
Captain as well.
yeah, it ain't like don't be wrong. I still see every game where he produces a ball that I don't think anyone else on the pitch can produce. But and again, we're not clinical, so I don't think that helps his numbers. But you can't be scoring 2 goals as a like your most attacking midfielder at the three. I think he's got to score more than that. And I think that was the one thing. I think when he first came to the club, he got assists, but he didn't have the goals to his game. And then I think the first season in transfer attack, he got 15 odd goals. And I thought, yeah, he finally done what he needed to. Yeah, added the goals to his game. Had a great season, but again, he's kind of just gone back in terms of goal scoring this season. So I think he needs to step up this season. I think he's admitted himself he's not quite at the level. To be fair, Mikel Moreno, he's doing a decent job up front, to be honest. Like, he's doing the best he can. I think he had one decent header chance where, yeah, I think he just gets too much contact on it. But every time the cross comes in, he's timing his jump so well. Like, he's always winning his headers. He's doing well. But just think, yeah, I think it's a bit harsh as a half chance. Um, there's another one as well where I think if Trossard gets his heads up and just squares it to Sterling, it's a tap up at the back post in the first half. But I think he went alone and then Pickford kind of smothered it. There's another one. I think Trossard got called for a foul, but Pickford made a ridiculous save as like a volley inside the box from Trossard. Didn't manage to tip it over. I think he got called for a foul anyway. But the one thing I gotta say, like, and I'm not just, I know Arsenal fans complain about him a lot, but I don't think there was really excuse for the referee in this weekend. I think at one point he blew the full time whistle and then realised it was too early, then carried on and called a free kick instead. Like,
What?
ridiculous, bro. Like, bro, he blew the full time whistle and then he looked at his watch, and I think there was 10 seconds of like stoppage time still to play. So I think he just played it off as a free kick, and Everton played a free kick into the box. And
Yeah, that
then
ref was bad, man.
the penalty as well. I think that the former head of the PGMOS has come out and said it's not a penalty. Howard Webb said it wasn't a penalty, and like I don't understand how he hasn't given a free kick against Harrison on Lewis Skelly. I think again, there's a bit of a mistake. It wasn't the penalty situation. It shouldn't have got to that point anyway, because I think Kivior let the ball bounce and then Lewis Skelly got caught under it. So he was the wrong side of Harrison. I think Lewis Skelly put his arm across him outside the box. He lets go of him, and then they go into the box, and then Harrison puts his arm across Lewis Skelly and brings him down, and then just throws himself to the floor, and it's a penalty. And
Yeah.
like in real
Soft.
it could look like a penalty. I can see it from like the referee's angle, maybe, but then like for VAR to intervene and then just not do anything, I don't understand. I know there's that bit of ruling where it has to be like a clear and obvious error, but I don't know. I think with VAR, fair enough. If the referee's made a wrong decision, I think it just should just be like intervened with, and then it's corrected. If you don't think it's a penalty, but there's not enough evidence to disprove it, like it's still not a penalty. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know whether they need to look at that, or I don't know,
So
maybe
something needs to change with VAR, to be fair.
yeah, because it's
I
not
feel like
even
even
like even midweek. Did any of you see Tarkovsky's foul on McAllister?
yeah,
Like,
that was a red. I don't
yeah,
know.
if McAllister's he's lucky he didn't have his foot planted, because if he did, that's a leg breaker. So like that wasn't called. I think the problem is it's just it's not like it's the odd decision. There's decisions every week. So I think something needs to change. I don't think it helps the refs as well, where a lot of the rules they're quite subjective. So it's not black and white. So it's up to the referee's interpretation. So naturally, you're not going to have consistent decisions week in, week out, because it's just going to be how the referee sees it on the day. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe something needs to change there.
But the referees need to be more braver, man. I feel like even when they go to, let's say they make a decision, and the VR gets them to look at it. If they stick by their decision, stick by it. If they change it, then change it. You know what I mean? I feel like every time they go to VR, they feel like they have to change their decision, and then they don't stick by it. If that makes sense, I feel like
Mm.
they need to be more braver doing that as well in the future.
Yeah, because I think ultimately, I don't know whether they're afraid of like, oh, they've made the wrong call, so if they change the VAR decision, it's to look back on bad on them or whatever. But no, I think as long as the right decision gets made, I don't think fans will mind. I think it's just when like there's obvious errors. But yeah, I think to be honest, again, Arsenal though, I think it's fair enough. The penalty was given, but we had enough chances after that to win the game, so it's not an excuse. to drop points. Everton. Um,
You could have closed it on Liverpool. I mean, it
yeah,
would have, I don't know,
I
bought
don't,
like 9 points or
we don't
something.
win the league this season.
Uh,
We're not
you,
consistent.
I'm just saying though. You know what I mean? You're not
wait,
taking
wait.
advantage,
Yeah,
bro.
but it's like, bro, there's like seven, what was it, and 8 games left, and it'll
You
be,
still got to play Liverpool as well.
Yeah, they're gonna be giving him the guard of honor.
bro, that's more likely. Funny enough, my sister's brother-in-law was selling tickets to that game in the box at Anfield. It's a good thing I'm in Miami, bro. Otherwise, I probably would have gone to that. But
You can go clap for him as well, man.
would have been,
Ryan standing up
I've never
clapping.
been to Anfield before, innit? So may as well. Um, but yeah, I thought I'd go on to just on that. I know there's new rulings about the automatic offsides that they have in the Champions League that they're looking to bring in, but um, do you reckon there's anything else you guys think would help in terms of refereeing? Do you think the assistant VARs need to be a bit more brave, or um, what do you think would improve VAR?
I don't know how much. Go on, yeah, go on, man.
Yeah, I think they just need to scrap it, bro. I think it's just I don't know. I just think football's just more refreshing when there's no VAR. Like I remember watching the League Cup game, one of the earlier games. I can't really remember which game it was, but there was no VAR, and I think it was I think when Birmingham played I think it was Birmingham versus Newcastle in an FA Cup game where they were
Oh
playing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember
There
that.
was no VAR, and it was just so refreshing. I think there was like just when the referee just makes a decision, boom, that's it. Whether it's an
That's it. Yeah.
offside, boom, offside, the game plays on. I think it's just when VAR is when you're waiting 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and obviously everyone in the stadium's just looking at what's going on. The players are asking the ref what's going on, and then all of a sudden you're getting the decision to go to the monitor. Now the ref's looking at the monitor for about a minute to see if it's like a foul or a red card or a penalty. It's just like it just longs out. I think the reason why everyone loves football is because of the continuity of it.
Yeah.
Like you see the NFL, the NBA, when they've got ads in between, like every single quarter, this and that. Nobody wants that. Everyone wants, do you know what I mean, to keep the game going. So I think either they speed it up or I think they just got to scrap it. I can't lie because I think it's killing football. But I don't know what you guys think. But
Yeah, and I think another thing that help, taking from American sports like NFL, a lot of their referees, like when they go to the video system, they're all mic'd up, so everyone understands what's going on. I think a
yeah.
part of the issue is no one knows what they're looking at for VAR until after the decision's made or it gets explained to them afterwards. Like in real time, no one understands like what the process that people are going through. So I think that would help, but I get what you mean. It was a lot more free flowing before. But I think even with VAR, the referees are still making poor decisions. So I think if you got rid of it completely, it'd be even worse.
But at least they're standing on it. They're standing on business. That's what I rate. If you're going to give a for something you think's a penalty, at least they stand on it instead of just giving a penalty knowing that you've got VAR or something to like. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
So,
yeah, that was the whole point why it was brought in, innit, to help the referees.
Yeah.
So I don't
but
know
it's
how much more help they need. Do you know what I mean?
not I'm saying it's
Yeah,
not.
I think it's more of a question of how they're actually using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why it has to be like there's certain premises where it has to be enough to overturn the referee's decision. Like if the referee's decision is originally wrong, why can't the VAR just intervene? Like there shouldn't be a caveat where if you can't overturn it, or if the referee's given it, you have to back that decision and make that. If it's a penalty, it's a penalty. If it's not, it's not. Like I think VAR should be given more power essentially because at the end of the day, if they've got video evidence, they're probably in a better position than the referee on the pitch who has to see it in real time.
The
So
issue is it's clear and obvious. Everyone's got different, opinions and
yeah,
what's clear and obvious. That's the issue. And referees are human, so
mm.
one referee might think it's something different to another referee. Do you know what I mean? In the VAR room,
Yeah,
so
and that's the thing. If it
that's another issue.
Yeah, a lot of the rules as well are based on, again, they're quite subjective. They're based on interpretation from the ref. So even like what is clear and obvious is a bit muddled sometimes. If you read some of the rules, it's not like black and white. I remember before, like even at offside, like if you pass the ball and the opposition defender touches it and the attacker runs through and scores, it's not offside because the opposition's touched it. Even that like isn't even clear now. Um, just little things like that. I think it just if the rules are a bit more clearer. I know there are little caveats where, like handballs, etc., if the hands close to their body are not fair enough. I think that they should still be in place. But certain things like, like little offside call of that, penalties, I think most people know what's a penalty or not. There may be those odd like 50-50 calls and go either way, but I think it's those ones where they're obvious that need to be addressed. If it's 50-50, fair enough. You can see arguments on both sides. Like it's going to be down to the referee on the day, but it's those blaring calls that I think they need to eradicate really. Which I don't think, these referees are experienced. Like they probably know better than us. But if all fans and like ex-refs and everyone can see it, I don't get why the referee and the VAR can't see it. There's two people there. It's not just, one person making a
Yeah,
flip.
it's like what you said, isn't it? The referees have to go by the rules and the laws, and
Mm.
you know, we, I mean, I don't know every single rule or law, for the referees that they have to follow. So they could just literally just be doing their job. And obviously, because of the rules are so shit, and obviously it's making them look bad. But at the same time, obviously they need to be thinking of from a player's perspective, which it's not always the case. And that's another issue.
Yeah. I know as well, like, there's a few things I've been reading, which I don't really know how much truth there isn't, to be honest, but a lot of people talking about how a lot of the referees are from the north and northwest of England.
Hmm?
If you see things on Twitter, people are abandoned about, a bit of bias here and there or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I think that's probably clutching at straws, but I just think, I don't know. I think one of the best refs in the country, Howard Webb, I think I don't know. I don't think we have any refs like in the Prem that are that level anymore. Like I feel like
Yeah,
there's a lot of
I did used to
referees.
rate Mike Oliver, but this season, bloody hell, he's been dead. Mike
Yeah.
Oliver. I did used to rate him as well last season, but yeah, it's been bad this season.
I don't know whether
Maybe
it's
like Anti Taylor and them man. You know what I mean?
to be fair to referee. I don't know whether it's just is it just the case that because of VAR, like these decisions are being brought to light more. Because before, if it was a decision, that was it. Now, like people talk about VAR, they can talk about decisions after the game. Maybe it's just highlighting there was more. So it seems like the referees aren't at the standard they used to be. But um, I think it's something they probably need to address ahead of next season. But I thought finally we just have a little look ahead. I know there's a few key European games. Manny, I know Chelsea, big tie, big chance of silverware for you this season. You're looking forward to the game on Thursday.
Yeah, Liga Warsaw, Poland. So he's
Who?
yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, I think. I mean, Muraski rested a few players again. I mean, he basically changed the most of the team against Brentford. So whether he's looking forward to that game, I don't know, guy, what you guys think, but I feel like there's a weird kind of pressure on him to win that competition, just because we're expected.
Weird. I
We're
won't say it's weird, bro.
not, not just because of the fact that we're expected to win it. So I feel like it comes with like a weird pressure where you'd think that we're going to cruise it, but you can have a weird kind of upset. So I think he's kind of going all in to make sure he wins it. I haven't really got too much to say on the game. Obviously, I don't really know too much about Liga Warsaw. So I'm just hoping, obviously, the first leg's away from home. I'll be happy. I don't know how good of a team they are or what they're doing this season in their league, but hopefully we can get a draw. And I mean, I feel like Chelsea, we should beat him quite easily at home. Because I don't think they're really, what I mean, they're not a European elite. That's why they're in the Conference League. Um, but yeah, I'm just hoping we can, what I mean, shouldn't be too difficult. Move on to, I think it's the semis, and then yeah, hopefully we can kind of bring some silverware home. But think the main objective should be the Champions League qualification. But yeah, hopefully we can win something.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I suppose winning the Conference League as well, I suppose it gives you that Europa League spot, doesn't it? So I suppose
man's
if you struggle, because there's a lot of teams fighting, like
At least, at least.
there's a lot of teams fighting. So I suppose it is like it's a guarantee of silverware and at least like worst case Europa League football next season.
I'd rather have no European football than be in the Europa League. I can't lie.
Yeah, those Thursday nights on the one, I can't lie. I've been there, bro. But
We
yeah,
all know Arsenal have been there, but yeah, go on.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have been there, bro. I don't think Thursday night's the one. I can't lie. But yeah, big game obviously for Arsenal as well against Madrid. To be honest, we had slim chances in that tie anyway. But I think Gabriel's like injury is just like massive. I don't know. I just think it would. I don't think it would be too bad, but it doesn't help that Calafiori's injured as well because I think Calafiori probably could have played left centre back for us, but. I think from Gabriel to Kivior is quite a big drop off, and I think our best chance really was being defensive, really, with like Saliba, Gabriel, to see if we can try and tie them on up. Which again, talking about Vinny, Mbappe, Rodrigo, Bellingham, bro, there's too many of those players, bro. So even that's
The
a
loss against Valencia on the weekend, though, so they could be got at. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, but I don't know, it's Real Madrid in the Champions League, though, and I think they're a bit different in that competition, especially when it comes to knockouts.
Yeah.
I think looking at it, I know there's Bayern and a few other decent teams about, but I think we're probably looking at an El Clasico final, to be honest. Um, so that's another one. But
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Inter Milan are dark horses, though. Watch out for them.
yeah,
yeah.
they do well.
Dark horses,
Mm,
dark horses.
Yeah, yeah. I think Bayern are quite strong. I'll be interested to see how that tie. But
I know
even
Bayern got a few injuries.
yeah, yeah, as well. But I think I don't know. I quite like the look of Barca. Um, I just feel like that they're one of those teams that they've got enough quality where they can just score a few goals in a moment. I know Rafinha's been on top form this season. Yamal, Lewandowski, they've got a lot of talent there. So um, I think Barca. I think I'll be up there.
I think I don't know if you guys have watched Barca, but the way they play, I think Dortmund could do something to them with Adeyemi and Bino getting
Yeah, the high line.
Yeah,
such a high line. Them speedsters, if they catch that offside line, no, I don't think them defenders are catching them two players.
yeah,
So that'll be an interesting tie.
yeah. Not that Sekou Girassi as well. Like he's been really good in the Champions League this season. But don't be wrong. I do see your point. Adeyemi for me, I think he's another one. Like he's not as bad, but he kind of reminds me a bit. Do you know Adama Traore? Where he's got all the pace, he can beat a
Hmm?
man, doesn't have that end product. I think he's another one of them. I don't think he's as bad as Adama. I think Adama, like for someone of his like physical ability, just has no end product at all. But I don't know, Adeyemi, I think I'm not trying to disrespect him too much, but I just don't think he's like, or at least he hasn't developed that yet. But I'd expect obviously Dortmund to go out, but I suppose you can,
Yeah, I don't think the Barca should have any issues. I think Dortmund might get a few chances, obviously, but over the two legs, it could
Yeah,
be a cricket score.
I think
yeah.
even the Villa I expect PSG to go through, but interesting tie just because obviously Emery used to manage PSG as well, so
Yeah,
I did think
yeah,
you got a sense of playing
Did
against.
you, did you watch PSG versus Liverpool? That PSG, bro, the wingers, Desiree Doué and Cabra, these guys, bro.
yeah.
Yeah,
Borders,
you
real
know,
borders.
when I watched them at the Emirates, right, I was looking forward to watching the Barclays, etc. But bro, they didn't really do much. Like their threat was through Nuno Mendes and Hakimi bombing forward. But I think they've been on a mad run recently. I think they went almost like 4 or 5 months unbeaten or something at one point. So I think that they've really clicked towards the back end of the season. I don't think they were quite at that level when we won, but yeah, I think they're an exciting team. They've got a lot of good young players as well. João Neves and Warren Zion with quality players in the midfield. Um, they're a talented bunch. So yeah, I expect them. Yeah, I expect them to beat Villa. But yeah, I think To be honest, I don't know. If I had to pick to win, I'd probably still go Real Madrid just because of their pedigree. But yeah, I think Barca. I think they're my dark horses for it. Not that Barca are dark horses, but
Hmm?
in recent times, not quite
Barca dark horses.
so bold. But yeah, I think that brings an end to this week's show. Thank you guys both again for joining. Please like, subscribe, comment. We'll catch you again.
You forgot about United's game, bro.
Well, United's game.
United play Leon. I don't care about United, you know. Care about Chelsea and I can't remember the team's name. They got United though. We're gonna win Europa League, even though Vines are hated. They want to talk about us. You know what I mean? So we're playing Leon. We're gonna beat them. We're gonna win Europa League, in it. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and on that point, yeah, as far as forgettable season United, bro. Forgot you were still even in Europe, to be honest.
Yeah, we're still there, bro. More European pedigree than you, man. That's all I'm saying.
Leon, they're a decent side, but I think you should have enough. They're quite
Yeah, obviously, like we
not
should
very
we should do him.
consistent.
Still got Lacazette playing for him. Bloody hell, you know what I mean?
Bro, he bagged quite a few goals from last season. I hope he's got in the same, but I think that Ryan Cherky's a talented player. I quite like watching him. Again,
Yeah, I've not
always
I've never watched.
inconsistent. But when he's on it, he's
Never, yeah, I never really watched him live, so it'll be interesting over 2 legs see how he does.
um, but yeah, we'll end the show.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, please like, subscribe, and comment. And yeah, we'll catch you again next week.
Love, love, love.
Yo, peace.